Hello, Salzgard here. Today I'm going to be bringing you some gameplay of Bastion, one of the first games made by Supergiant Games, people who would later bring you the hit games, Hades and Hades 2. This is an isometric action RPG with a kind of cartoonish, artistic style. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notification bell so you get any future releases. And we're going to get started with normal mode.
Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble.
One of the issues with narrating this game is that it has its own narrator that likes to randomly chime in. I'll try my best not to talk over him.
Ground forms up under his feet as it pointing away. He don't stop to wonder why. Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion. He sees what's left of the rippling walls, years of work undone in an instant, in the calamity. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Fella got a piece of him, though.
There isn't a bunch of exploration, but there are side paths you can go down and find these little shard things, collectibles. I mostly just go around smashing whatever I can.
Kid just rages for a while.
And you can have...
Gotta hold her still to spin up the chamber.
You can have two different weapons and a special ability equipped.
Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink. Kid finds a memento from a girl he knew. Always used to fancy her. A school of squirts tunnels up around them. Must have fled here from the mines.
And there are little objects scattered across the world.
He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The calamity got him before his drinking did.
This game's about 13 years old, but I think it's held up pretty well. I've been playing it since...
Then Kid finds his trusty shield.
I'm not very good at it, though.
But just as he's getting a handle on it, the security takes him for a petty thief. Clang! Shield saves his hide.
You walk at the right moment, you can counterattack. I'm not very good at it with these enemies, though.
Windbags start turning up for last
You can
call.
break the spawn and break when they get actually spawn quick enough.
More squirts start coming out of the woodwork. A big old fella pops out in front of the kid. Kid sees the way to the Bastion out the window. It's a bit of a drop.
I'm really out of practice.
He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke. Kid spies a good perch for some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back.
With the bow, as it was saying, you want to draw it until you see that little bit of
Wasn't
flash
long before the kid
power
could
shot.
loose an arrow, strong and true. Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid. Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome. He's a mighty fast learner. Right back at you.
It can be a bit janky when you have enemies and the guy shooting at you. I wanted to try and deflect those first few balls back to the cannons, but it didn't really work out too well.
He finds the distillery, right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town. One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man.
These distilleries are little buffs that you can give your character. You get given some as parts of missions or areas, and others you'll find laying around. Some of them will also be purchased later at an area, but that'll come up later. I'm not very good at staying at full health, so I probably won't get anything that requires specific conditions like that for a while. Absorbing fragments isn't super good, because I can just go and get them myself, so I'll probably just get some more health so I can be a bit more tanky.
The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job.
I personally like the hammer and the repeater for the weapons I have right now.
And then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling. The kid better watch his step.
If you fall off the edge, you'll die.
Bad time to run out of black tonic.
Those little carts shoot out those enemies, and they keep on doing it until you kill them. These little barges take you around to different sections.
An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now. Kid takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did. Kid puts him out of his misery. Robs a scumbag of his last meal.
Those scumbags, every time you hit them, they get smaller. I don't know if it really affects what they can do, but it's kind of a nice visual indicator of how much health they have left.
He finds the core to the Wharf District. He steals the city's heart. Might as well.
And most of the time when you take a core and start causing the area around you
Kid
to
has a
start
feeling you
falling
better get a
apart.
move on. The place is starting to fall.
I usually just avoid enemies or most of the enemies whenever this starts happening.
Kid just keeps running,
And avoiding all the collectibles I don't really need.
somersaulting like crazy.
But usually you can find some like lore bits and other materials.
At last, the
But not all the
Skyway's in
time.
sight. Whisks him where he needs to go. Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races.
And
Did anybody else survive?
this is the titular Bastion, the main hub for the entire game, and where we'll be spending a lot of our time
Sure
going
enough,
back to
he
at the
finds
end of
another.
missions.
He finds me.
The narrator.
We talk for a spell.
And whenever you pick up stuff like crests, cores, and lore objects, you can talk to this guy and get a bit of information from him, or commentary.
There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest. Enough to point the way to the cores. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch. I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, all right, except no one else showed up.
And along with being the hub, you can slowly upgrade it as you collect more of these cores.
And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again, growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown.
Each time, or most of the time, when you complete a level, you'll get a core, which will help you upgrade. You'll unlock a different slot to put in a building.
Kid ponders
Like
what to
this.
build.
I'll probably put in a distillery first, since I want to be able to change my spirits more often than my weapons. And next time I get a core, it will unlock this slot, and then this one to put new buildings. And then after that, we'll unlock some more buildings over here on this side. And each of them will do something different, like providing different upgrades or quests, or different challenges that you can put on your character.
Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply.
With my second one, I'll probably get Hardy Punch for some more survivability, since I'm not a huge fan of any of these ones.
Hardy Punch is so zesty, it'll let you carry on through the worst of times.
And this is probably a good point to leave off, or to finish up, since this is the hub and the end of the previous mission. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, hit the notification bell so you can hear about any more videos I post.